Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Wow.
Great stuff.
I haven't seen you. When was the last time I saw you, Jeff?
Wow, it's got to be about over a year ago. Yeah, over a year ago. I actually came on to your place, didn't I?
Yes.
And I was blessed with a signed copy of your book.
Well, I hope you've read it.
Oh well, yes. So yes, I have.
What's my story?
Your story is one of success, one of perseverance, one of getting through stuff and coming out the other end and giving your experience to other people so that they can be inspired.
And it was just so warming to hear you that day when you came round to visit, and hearing the journey that you've been on, and it has been an extraordinary journey. I've known you for many years, and I've seen a part of the journey, but we hadn't spoken or seen each other for a little while, and when you turned up and you shared your story with me, it left me in tears.
Right.
It was emotional. And I think it would be quite important if you could share some of that with us today, about who Jeff is and why you do what you do.
Wow. How do I put this into a small process? Okay, fine. I mean, well, I was born. One of four children, the eldest of four children. I have three younger sisters. I had a pretty reasonable upbringing. My parents fought hard for what they had, and they fought hard to feed us and get us through school and things like that. College, I went to college. I was the only one that went to college in the siblings, and I did social care because I felt that that's what I wanted to do, to look after people, to give something back to society. Even at that point, that was what I wanted to do, but I didn't really know that's what I wanted to do. However, I did know that it was important for me to be around people and to do stuff, including people in my life. I moved on from there and I went into locum social working for a year and a half. From there, I went on to business training, which was office management, which I did for a few years. And, you know, in that time, I knew that I was destined for more stuff in my life, but didn't quite know how I was doing it. At that time, I got into things like drugs and women and silly things that just sapped my time up, sapped who I was, my energy, and I became a different person. Still knowing that I wanted to be successful, but going about it the wrong way. And then, you know, those times passed, and then I met up with a guy that I used to go to school with, and his name was Des Morant, one day, and he was involved in a business which he seemed at that time very successful at, and saw me and I knew based on who I was and who he's known me to be, because we've known each other since we were 8 years old, went to the same schools and so on, asked me if I wanted to just come around and see what he was involved in, which I did, and I looked at it, a bit dubious at first, but I knew that it had the elements that I was looking for in my life, and I felt that that is what I needed to plug into, because I thought maybe this is the thing that would rescue me from where I was going, the wrong road I was going down, and the things and the thoughts I was going through. And I knew that, you know, it had the elements for me to plug into, to then move into a new sphere, a new life for myself. At that point, I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I was convinced that there was a support system and so on and so forth. So I ploughed into it, and for 15 years we worked at that, and it was good. It had its great points. We learnt a lot. I learned a lot about myself. We made some money, but it wasn't a business that I made an awful lot of money, the kind of successful business that I was looking to achieve and carve out for myself.
The journey of personal development, because it has been a journey. You met a good friend of yours and he showed you a business. How would you say that business has impacted your life?
Hugely. That's when I first got involved and connected with personal development books, motivational speakers, and people who have had a story of their journey from where they were to a successful point. And for me, that resonated with me, because that's all the things that I wanted in my life, but didn't know how to achieve it, how to get it, and I didn't know anybody that was in that. So for me, it was the start of me realizing who I could become. And then at that point, also, it was for me realizing that it was actually something that I could actually do, and I could touch it. And for me, that was exciting. So for me, the questions were not about how anymore, it was when. So that's what happened for me. I got really excited about it. I knew that was the start of my new life.
And that's the thing, when people get excited about something, they begin to do and experience. As I think it was Elizabeth Browning said, you have experiences which are uncommon in regular hours.
Sure.
And I'm sure you've had some of those.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Some of them uncommon, some of them very scary, some of them not understanding of them. However, they were experiences that I knew that were there, and they were there for a reason, and may not have understood them at the time, but I kept on keeping on, and when you believe in yourself, when you have a team of people who believe in you first, then you then have a point where you start believing it yourself, and then you start working on those things that you've learned for yourself, and then you get pleasantly surprised.